Hello, dear friends, and welcome to my spiritual sanctuary, Feng Shui Friday. Welcome back to those who have joined me in my previous videos, and welcome to those who are joining me for the first time today. I just wanted to say thank you for subscribing, sharing, and subscribing if you've done that, and then you'll be notified with other videos that are coming out on different Feng Shui topics. So I really wanted to talk today a little bit about, first we'll start off with our astrology report, what's going on with the universe, okay? Let's start with that. Now, we had the solar eclipse last week, and that is going to be long-lasting for years. The effects of that solar eclipse are very, very strong, and also it was coupled with the new moon in Cancer. So a lot of feelings, a lot of things to do with family, home life, that kind of thing. And feel free to go back to my video for last week as I talk a little bit more about that. Now, what we have coming up this week, on Tuesday the 16th of July, is the lunar eclipse, which is also big time. It's in Capricorn, okay? So that's all about work, business, commerce, that kind of thing. So with the two eclipses so close together like that, we're in a time period of a lot of shifts and changing are occurring in the energetic levels of our cosmos. And just a little bit to let you know what's happening. Now, also, Mercury is in retrograde right now. It started on the 7th of July, and it's going to go all the way until the 31st of July. And that in itself slows everything down. You need to reevaluate, relook at things, and don't get into anything new ventures, sign new contracts, or get into anything new, but it's all about, just sitting back and looking at what has occurred since the last Mercury retrograde, and reanalyzing, relooking, reevaluating to see what changes need to be made and what are you going to do differently that maybe things didn't work out back in the first half of the year. So lots of planetary aspects happening. We're also on the 31st of July, we're going to be having another new moon. So we're going to have two new moons in 1 month, which is quite powerful in itself as well. So that is a little bit about the cosmology that's going on. And, to take each one of those separately would be an entire, topic in its own. I just wanted to give you a little rough rundown of what's happening, and if things are feeling a little unsettling in your life and you're not sure, and things are happening that can't be explained, and unsure what's going on in the external environment, why these people are acting the way they're acting, why my computer is going down for no reason, this has never happened before. Well, just know that the planetary influences are affecting things. So with that said, there's a lot of things that we can talk about as far as how to overcome a lot of the upsets of the planetary influences. So if you're interested, I would love to have you give me an email and shoot me an email, and we can discuss how we can work together, okay? For this video, what I thought I would talk about is the astrology that I do with my Feng Shui consultations. I've done a couple clients today, and one of them was a 5-month-old. And so it made me realize how important it is to have the true knowledge of what are the strengths of this child and what is it that really serves them now to help them to be their best potential in life. As a parent, I would want to know that for my children. I know for myself, I did get astrology readings for each of my grandchildren when they were born, and that was a long time ago before I even started doing the astrology. I wanted to mention one of my favorite astrologers is Tom Lesher, K. Pasha Lesher, and he's with New Paradigm Astrology. He does evolutionary astrology. He's the one that was my guiding light in a lot of my early astrology, consultations. I learned a lot about life, and really drew my interest to learning more and more and more. So thank you, Tom. I just want to give you, he does a Pele report every Wednesday on the cosmos, so I would definitely look into that. He's great. Now, also, I would like to talk a little bit about the astrology that I do. It's called BAZI and Four Pillars of Destiny, and it's Chinese astrology. I use it along with the Feng Shui, and it's taught hand in hand as far as when you, as a professional consultant, going out to a home and doing the Feng Shui of the space, well, the astrology of the people in the space is major integral part of the results that we're trying to achieve, and to help those people in that space be in alignment with the best possible outcome. Now, it's all about empowerment, okay? So that's what we want to do. That's what this is all about, making the right choices with the information that you have about yourself, and doing the right thing at the right time, you know, in the right place results in empowering your life, okay? So that's what I'm here to do, to help you empower yourself. And the greatest thing about BAZI and the Four Pillars of Destiny is that it helps you to make informed decisions with your life. It's actually the heaven piece, the heaven luck, and this is the cosmic trinity, we call it. The heaven luck and the earth luck is the feng shui of your space, and then the human luck is the decisions that we make with those two pieces. So hopefully you're making the right decisions in your life based on the heaven luck and your feng shui of your space, to achieve the greatest outcome that you want for your life. Now, it helps us to make informed decisions about our life. It helps us to maximize our potential in life. Are we doing the right things? Are we in the right career? Am I with the right person? As far as love and partnering with people, am I working with people in my office that are in alignment with my values? And are we, if we are a manager or a CEO, or we're creating teams, are we creating a synergy between the highest potential of the members that we're serving? So all of that will come into play. There's many different tools for personality and that kind of thing. And this is just another tool that we use to develop an understanding of synergy in relationships, strengthening and understanding our business relationships, our family relationships, our love relationships. All of that comes into play. And we have to understand other people better in order to have a better understanding of what is it that is in their highest, their highest good, so that we can help and serve and be of service to people all over the world, right? Even in our families, if we have a close-knit family, we want to understand why they're reacting or how they communicate, just like the 5 love languages, okay? So if somebody's, let's say, an earth person, and you're trying to get them to do fire activities, it's going to take a lot more patience in order for that to happen, because typically an earth person, especially yang earth, takes a lot for a person to change, okay? And we need to know that. Whereas a fire person, a yang fire, they'll change on a dime. It doesn't matter. It's like fire. It flickers all over the place, okay? So we need to know, and it's based on the 5 elements in nature. So basically, just like Chinese medicine and the acupuncture field, acupressure, it works off the 5 elements. So I made a little chart for you so you can see the 5 elements. And it's fire, earth, metal, water, and wood, okay? And this is how they flow in the creative cycle. So what we want to do, fire turns into earth when it burns, right? Earth, metal comes from earth, so it creates metal. Water comes from metal due to condensation. It forms on metal, so it creates water when compressed. And then water feeds wood, makes it grow. And then wood on fire makes fire grow. So this is the creation cycle. And each one of us, we have these 5 elements in our chi, our basic DNA, okay? That's what we're made of, is these 5 elements in the DNA. So we have these as a part of our constitution. I refer to it as our constitution, okay? So when we know what our predominant element is, let's say we're predominantly a fire person, which is what I am, which you probably figured out. I'm always going, doing, and on YouTube. So fire element is very different than a earth element person, okay, as I explained earlier. And I'll go into more detail with that in just a minute. I just want to explain to you the destructive cycle, okay? And this is what we look at someone's chart when they may not be in a most favorable life situation, or a lot of times, you know, when I look at this, I can see maybe some health issues and some other things. I'm not going to get real specific, but I'm just going to kind of give you the basics of how it works. Now, the destructive cycle, so fire, too much fire on wood burns fire up, makes it go away, okay? And then wood, too much wood on water absorbs it, and it evaporates. And then too much water on metal will corrode it, make it into rust. And then metal, too much metal on earth overtakes earth, and therefore the earth disappears. And then too much earth on fire will put fire out, okay? So when we look at all of the things like relationships, maximizing your potential and that kind of thing, that's what we look at in a chart. So this is a 4 pillars chart. This is for somebody born July 13th, 1964, and they're born at 11:27 a.m., okay? They're 54 years old now, hour, day, month, and year. And so when you were born, there was an imprint, just like in Western astrology, when you have your sun sign and the planets, you have your moon sign, your ascendant. In the 4 pillars, we have your year, month, day, and time as well when you're born. And that creates a template of your personality, how you approach life, where your maximum potentials are when we look at your strengths and your weaknesses, your life purpose, what is it that you would best be suited for, what kind of love is best for you, what kind of partner you should couple with, what you should be doing as far as your profession. So it couples with the animal signs, the 12 animal signs, and you've probably seen them like at a Chinese restaurant on the placemat, all the animal signs and the year that corresponds with that animal. And that would definitely correspond with the year sign. And then there's an element attached to it, and there's a yin and a yang element attached to that, and that says a lot about who you are and the type of person in your constitution and the chi, the DNA in your body, okay? And then once we set up the natal chart, then there's 10-year luck cycles, okay? And it just depends on when they start. This particular person, their luck cycle started when they were 2, okay? And it's always about an element in an animal. And we call them stem and branches, an element in an animal. And they are for the whole duration of the life. So not only can we see this person's luck pillar and how it applies to their natal chart from this 10-year cycle, but we can look at the future and we can look at what has happened in the past. So I can kind of see, okay, this is coming up for you, and what's the best way to proceed further to ride the highest energy for your life, your love, your career, for your family, for your health. We can take a look at that. So that's a little bit about how an astrology chart is done. BAZI and 4 pillars of destiny, they call them. So it's the same just called different names. All right, so it allows us to empower ourselves, make the right choices with the information, okay? Now, as I said, I did a child's chart today, and I wanted to just stress how important it is for a child, young adult, to get a consultation to really know exactly what is their strength so they can really hone in on those. Now, a lot of children, they already know, because these children that are coming in today called crystals, they know what their purpose is, and they're our teachers. They will tell us exactly why they're here and what they need to do. But there are children that are struggling, and they get to 18, 19, they have no idea what they want to do with their lives. Should they go to college, or should they get a job, or exactly what they should do. However, if we look at their chart, we can see what is the highest energy that they have in there. And then what it would be the strengths, and what would be the best career, so they would be happy, and therefore they would create more, the highest income level for them, and they would be able to serve others with that. They can move through life in a more empowered way. I had a situation with a client many years ago. The child was acting out, and he was in elementary school. And I won't, name any names because it's all confidential, but I'll tell you a little bit about him. He was having a lot of trouble, with homework, with school, at home, everything. And so his mother called me to come over and do a consultation, a Feng Shui consultation for him. When we looked at his birth chart and the elements that were predominant in his chart and what he needed in his chart, we found that his bedroom was suited, it was painted red, which was the worst color for him, and that his bed was in the wrong direction. There were things that needed to be moved around, and we needed to focus on different activities for him in school because he wasn't being drawn to the right ones. And therefore he wasn't happy, but he was a child. He didn't know how to express that, not even knowing what to do about it. And his mother didn't know what to do about it either. She just kept reprimanding him. And that wasn't helping. So when we looked at his chart and we decided to paint his room a different color, change the bed into a different direction, to create a space for him to study, to get him into certain extracurricular activities that would feed his soul based on the strengths in his chart, this kid just excelled. He became a different person. They didn't have to put him on drugs for ADHD, which is rampant in this country. And a lot of these children just need direction. They just need to have their chi energy adjusted. And by knowing that and looking at their chart, we could fix it, and believe me, it made all the difference for this child. So if you know that, like for instance, the reading I did this morning on a 5-month-old, we know what direction his crib should be facing, so he's in his right direction. What color should his room be? Okay, what activities when the child becomes, a little bit older, should he be doing so that it's strengthening his strength in his chart? All those things come into play. So not only are we working with the environment of the space, but we're working with the actual person on their DNA level. So basically the soul level. And we're allowing their spirit to flourish and to fly so they can excel. And then they can fall into an alignment with who they need to be as they move forward and not who they're forced to be. So that is a little bit what I wanted to say today, and I just wanted to tell you that I'm glad that you joined me again if you're coming back, and if this is your first time. Thank you for showing up here. I know there's a reason why we came together today. Again, my name is Sandra, and I'm available for consultations, and right now I have a special going on for these types of readings. This is my birthday month, and I am completing a 60-year cycle, which I feel like is huge. So I want to give everybody a discount on their astrology charts this up until my birthday, which is the 23rd. So I'm offering a special right now, and if you're interested, give me an email, a shout out. My email is myspiritualsanctuaryinfo@gmail.com. Again, myspiritualsanctuaryinfo@gmail.com, and I'll pass along that information to you, okay? And then I'll just gather up your information, and we'll get you scheduled in my calendar, okay, for the rest of July, or up until the 23rd, and we'll get you in, okay? So also, if you would like to go to my website and be a member of my spiritual sanctuary, or you would like to receive emails and promotions, please just opt in the email box and put your name and email in there, and you'll be directed to sign up for my Facebook group, My Spiritual Sanctuary, and also you'll start to receive wonderful things through the email, and not too many things, okay? Because I know that can get a little bit unnerving when you're getting emails left and right, but I'm not like that, and I don't send out a lot of emails, but when I do send them out, they are important information for you, okay? So I just want to thank you for joining me today. I want you to have a wonderful week ahead. I wish you well as we're moving into this next lunar eclipse next Tuesday on the 16th. Stay grounded, stay hydrated, stay centered, do your meditation, prayer, and yoga, or whatever you do to center yourself as we're moving forward. And I'll be back with you next Friday with some more great information. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Please like and share, and have a wonderful week, my friends. Until next Friday, namaste.